Hey guys, and welcome back to War Thunder. It is Krebs, and in today's video I'll be taking you through a preview of the RBT-5, a low-tier Russian vehicle mounted with twin 250 kilo rockets. Firstly, I should mention that this vehicle can only be acquired from this newly set up Thunder League, which I'll post more details about in the YouTube description box below. But in quick summary, it's War Thunder's own esports league with a small buy-in for so-called dog tags. And these allow you to participate in challenges and events to unlock many different decals and unique vehicles that can only be acquired through this Thunder League, and the RBT-5 is one of them. So on paper, the performance of the RBT-5 is exactly the same as the BT-5 already in the game. That means agile movement speeds and quick reloading armor-piercing ballistic capped shells with HE, high explosive filler, capable of devastating your enemies. However, like the BT-5, it has a relatively low amount of armor and a skeleton crew which can, well, ultimately lead to your untimely death. Also, the battle rating is slightly higher at 1.3, but it has a premium status, so that means extra reward bonuses. Now it's rockets. These mounted shells of impending doom have some considerations to be taken into account before actual usage. They have a minimum elevation, and my testing suggests that the targets have to be at least 75 meters away. Anything closer will likely not be hit. Also, they don't have a reload of their own, even in arcades, so once the rockets are out, they are out, unless you can get on a cap zone and refill that way. Alright, now it's time for some actual matches in the RBT-5, and I'm going to be showing you guys two clips of this vehicle in action, the first of which, I admittedly didn't use my rockets at all, so if you're expecting me to use rockets, then wait till the next clip. The reason why I didn't use them on this match is because, well, we're on Kursk. Kursk is a map that is defined by long-range engagements. So as you can imagine, that is the exact opposite of what you'd want with anything that's rocket-based. It's not like I've got the Calliope here where I can spam my rockets almost seemingly indefinitely and eventually something will hit. I've only got two rockets and they're very inaccurate. So usually what will happen when you're using this vehicle is that you've got the proposition of either using your cannon or your rockets. And the real decision, or the real breaker between using your cannon or the rockets, is usually a matter of distance. If the enemy is medium or long range distance away from you, it's going to be that cannon, much more accurate, rapid firing, and more reliable. However, in a close range scenario, if the enemy is very close in front of you, you'd be more tempted towards using those rockets and potentially one-shotting them as well. But the thing is, you know how I talked about that minimum distance? You have to counteract it somehow. You have to get on a slope. And I mean you have to. I've tried it. I've tried to kill enemies with these rockets close range. It doesn't work if they're very close to you. It just goes right over their head. Now admittedly, maybe I could have killed this one guy right here of my rockets, but then again, it's that proposition. Do I want to, you know, in the heat of a battle, do I want to aim my rockets at the enemy, potentially lose out on that kill, or maybe he'll see me and then start firing at me, or do I just want to go the more reliable route and use my cannon? On a map like Kursk, invariably it's going to be utilizing that cannon. So eventually I got caught out here. I managed to capture the C point, kill 3 enemies, but you know what the Brits are like. They got fast speed, so they were making their way straight to our captured point. And I had to get caught out sooner or later because it is Kursk after all. There's hardly any cover to work with, and the Brits are amazing on these maps with hills where they have perfect gun depression that works alongside these hills, and they can easily fire away at you from the safety of the hill terrain. So eventually I got caught out, and what I was trying to do was stutter stop. As in, I was starting my movements, then stopping, trying to anticipate when the enemy would fire at me, and hopefully they would miss. But, well, there you go. I had to meet my maker sooner or later. And so here we are in the second clip, and on a map that is definitely much more tailored towards the RBT-5, it is Berlin, and it's Conquest as well, so there's only 1 point of contention, which can also be, well, it can be a good or bad thing. I mean, it means more enemies to potentially kill, but it also means more enemies that can kill me. So, always have to be a bit cautious about that. Now check this out. You'd think that that building right there beside my teammate would offer a lot of cover. Not until the artillery starts dropping down. and it wrecks that building. Now all of a sudden, here is Krebs, thinking that that building's going to offer me cover. Well, not anymore. It looks like people are going to be able to shoot over that if they wanted to. Now an enemy's just in front of me. I decided to fire off some shells into him. Unfortunately, some of them hit, some of them missed, and one of those was my rockets as well. I think you might have seen it go right over his head. That's that minimum elevation that I'm talking about working right there. That is it. Being a little bit of a nuisance, going right over that Panzer's head, his turret. So as I was saying, it's all about utilizing that elevation. You have to somehow get on a slope, and I still got one more rocket that I can use, and I will use it in a matter of time. But right now I'm just trying to seek out targets. But as I said about that building, it's not making me feel too safe, because see, if that building was still standing, I'm pretty sure that guy wouldn't have had line of sight to actually shoot at me. Well, he's trying to take some shots, but he looks like he's gonna take some cover. He actually took quite a bit of damage. I've seen a number of guys knocked out inside of his vehicle. But you know what those Brits are like. They've got a lot of guys within them. About 4 guys. I mean, that's only one more than my BT-5, but you know, that one more can make a huge difference in survivability. So, I'm just trying to spot some enemies at the moment. But artillery can be such an absolute nightmare. I'm getting afraid of the artillery. I can see it flashing on my screen. And even landing next to me. Ooh. Man. Talk about seeing your life flash in front of your eyes. That can be a scary kind of thing. So I started to come to the realization that, you know, sticking around here might not be the most optimal thing to do, especially where my teammates are at the moment. That's kind of surprising that they would just stick out in the open. I mean, sure, you can hit more stuff, but, you know, it's how the cookie crumbles. The building crumbles, the buildings crumble around you. You get less and less cover. Eventually, you know, your survivability is just going to go right down. So I decided to back off. I've got enough of this point. I'm going to go around the building instead and see what's around there. It's always good to come in from an extreme flank rather than down the middle, especially where A is. It's a point of contention. There's going to be a lot of guns pointed on A at the moment, so if I can make my way around, all the better. Hey, take a look at that. Some artillery killed somebody. I love artillery in low tier matches. It's so powerful. Uh-oh. Using that third person, not just flying around that corner. That was, if you guessed right, a T-17E2. Oh man. I'm sure a lot of you can agree that that is probably one of the most powerful vehicles at low tiers. Very, very scary to contend with. So what I wanted to do was actually use my rocket here. I'm going to use my one leftover rocket to try and hit the enemy. He's going to come flying around this corner. This is all in my mind. He's going to come flying around this corner. I'm just going to shotgun him with a rocket right into the side. Oh, there's another guy. Uh-oh. This is starting to break my composure. Okay. He must be coming any moment now. I mean, if I could see him. Uh-oh, here he is! No! Yeah, like I said, that minimum distance. Gotta work around it. So in the end, that is the RBT-5. I guess the nice thing about it is the fact that you have the option of using rockets on it as well. And that is the main pro about it. And it also gets bonuses, premium bonuses as well. So it is hard to use those rockets, but if you can somehow find a way in which to use them effectively, whether that's through a good shot over that 75 meters distance or using terrain to your advantage to counteract that distance, then I'm sure you'll get a lot more success. But anyway, guys, that is the RBT-5. If you want to find out how you can unlock it yourself, then check out the link in the description box below. That will take you to all about the Thunder League. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until the next one, this is Krebs, and I'll catch you guys later.